Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We hope you all are safe and healthy. Once again, Fun Fact is here with another interesting video to educate and entertain your kids with a new twist in these stories. So watch the entire video and don't forget to subscribe. 1. The Lion and Rat. The story of Lion and Rat is very old and common. But some changes have been made in this story keeping in view the present times. The changed story is something like this. Once a rat who was living in the city went for a walk in the forest. There he saw a lion sleeping. He thought he was the king of the forest. If he awakes he didn't like my presence, but anyway, it's time for a selfie. I'll take a selfie. This selfie disease is not a new one that I suffer from, but it is very old. In ancient times, people used to take the same thing from the mirror. What people take today with their mobile phone's camera. They used to look in the mirror in different ways, styles and ways. This rat thought what pictures would come. What a beautiful sight to see a rat riding a lion. What a brave and courageous rat. He immediately got on it and started taking selfies from different poses. The Lion King's opened his eyes. He immediately snatched the rat into his strong fist. The rat immediately said, "King, peace be upon you." You must have read the story somewhere that once in the past, such a rat was jumping on a lion. When the lion swallowed him, he immediately asked the lion, "Ali Pana, although small and weak in body, but as a sincere friend, I say that I will come to your aid when you need me." You will know the story of a hunter who traps a lion in his net, and the same rat saves the lion from this trap. The lion gets into his smooth talk. And he laughs and says, "What kind of soup? But still I am leaving you." Then history repeats itself. That lion also falls into the trap of a hunter. The lion immediately calls the mouse through WhatsApp, "Friend, pay the dues of friendship today. You don't know that I am in trouble?" The rat gets there immediately and starts cutting the net from one side. But the net was not being cut with it. The wires of the net were thin but very strong. On the other hand, his teeth had deteriorated due to poor diet, which could not cut the very strong and visible net which was already there. Now that net got entangled in his own teeth in such a way that he could not even save himself. There was so many hunters. And they immediately catches him and kills him, saying that you were the rat who had already rescued a lion from the snare. The rat was dying thinking that it was a conspiracy of my enemies. They made WhatsApp. If they had not made it, I would not have been killed like this today. Moral of the story is, the closeness of kings is dangerous in many ways. Even if they do not say anything, then their enemies can take your life. Sometimes selfie enthusiasts put themselves in a lot of trouble and even death. Precaution is better than this. As the rat was not aware of its weaknesses, so what would save the lion from losing his life? Work should be done according to one's strength and energy. On the contrary, there is destruction and ruin. Jumping and arrogance do not solve problems, so better tactics and strategies are needed. Blaming others after death and destruction will not help. 2. The Elephant and Tailor. It is the same with the person who does it. It is also called filling as it is done. There is a story about this saying. A king's elephant was taken to the pond every morning to drink water. On the way there was a tailor shop. The elephant would raise his trunk in his shop every day, and the tailor would give him a banana or something else to eat. The tailor had also become very familiar with it. One day, the tailor had to go to the city for some work. He sat in his place in the shop with his friend that day. When the elephant raised the trunk in the shop as usual, that person mischievously stuck a needle in it, instead of giving it a banana. The elephant was in so much pain that he decided to take revenge. When the elephant returned from the pond, he filled his trunk with a lot of water, and put the trunk in the shop. The same thing happened to him as that person did. Moral of the story. You will suffer too, if hurt others. 3. Two Friends and the Bear. Once upon a time, two friends lived in a village. The friendship of a boy and squirrel was very famous. Once they both planned to set out for a journey. They promised to help each other in times of danger. They reached the forest very soon. The forest was very dense and terrible. There was a bear living in the same forest. The bear was sick for a few days, and due to the disease, he could not satisfy his hunger properly for many days. When he felt the human rustle in the forest, his hunger became more intense. The bear came out of its den. When they both saw the bear coming towards them, then squirrel suddenly climbed up a tree. And the boy could not do so, because he doesn't know climbed up a tree. He thought what he could do. He was very afraid from the bear. Then he suddenly came up with an idea and he lay down on the ground and held his breath. The bear came up to him and smelt him, thinking him dead and went away. The friend on the tree came down and said, "What did the bear whisper in your ear?" The other replied, "He advised me not to trust selfish friends." Moral of the story is, a friend in need is a friend indeed. 4. The Wolf and the Lamb. Once a wolf was drinking water at a stream. Lower down the stream, a lamb was also drinking. The wolf wanted to eat it. He came down to the lamb and said, "Why are you making the water muddy?" The lamb replied, "The water is flowing from you to me. I cannot make it muddy." Wolf was ashamed to hear the answer. The wolf then said, "Why did you abuse me last year?" The lamb said, "You are mistaken, sir, I was not born last year." The wolf said, "If it was not you, then it must be your mother." The lamb said, "You must punish me instead of my mother, but I want you to accept one of my conditions first." The wolf asked, "What the condition?" The lamb said, "That I have heard that your voice is very sarcastic, so you can sing me a song in your voice." The wolf accepted his condition and started singing loudly. The mother of the lamb heard that voice and reached this place and saved the life of her child, and forced the wolf to flee from there. Moral of the story: the gentle and weak can sometimes be clever than fierce and strong. 5. The Foolish Stag. Once a stag saw his reflection in the water of a pond. He began to admire his beautiful horns, but he condemned his thin, ugly legs. Just then he saw the hounds running towards him. The stag ran for his life. Soon his legs carried him away from the hounds. He entered a jungle. Unluckily, his horns were caught in bushes. He tried his best to free himself but failed. He stood helpless, cursing his horns. In the meantime, the hounds overtook him and killed him on the spot. Moral of the story: all that glitters is not gold. 6. The Arab and His Camel. There was a very cold night. An Arab was lying in his tent. His camel was sitting outside. The camel felt very cold. He said to his master, "Sir, it is very cold outside. Can I put my head inside the tent?" The Arab allowed. The camel then said, "May I warm my neck too?" The Arab agreed. Thus, the Arab allowed the camel to put his whole body inside the tent at his repeated requests. When the camel was in the tent, he said to his master, "The tent is too small for both of us, will you please moving out?" Saying so, he pushed his mater outside. Moral of the story: nip the evil in the bud. 7. The Hare and the Tortoise. Once a hare met a tortoise. He began to laugh at its slow speed. The tortoise challenged him to run a race. The hare was glad to accept it. Next day the race began. The hare ran very fast. He left the tortoise far behind. He was now quite sure to win the race. Hare therefore decided to take some rest. He lay down under a tree and soon fell asleep. The tortoise went on slowly and steadily. He passed the sleeping hare and soon reached the winning point. After some time the hare got up. He ran as fast as he could, but it was too late. He had lost the race and was much ashamed. Moral of the story: slow but steady wins the race. We hope you enjoyed our today's video as well as learned from it. If you enjoyed the video, then hit the like button and subscribe our channel for more amazing content.